Hey guys, DVD Collector 96 here. So today's video is going to be a travel vlog video, and I'm going to be talking to you about my experience visiting the city of San Francisco. Okay, I did this trip back in 2021 in September. It was one of the cities that I visited during my honeymoon in the US. So it's a little hard for me to remember 100% all the details by memory, so I had to create a little list about the topics that I want to be telling you guys, and I have my laptop here with me, and I'm going to, through the pictures that I'm going to be showing in the video, I'm going through the pictures with you and letting you guys know my experience. And as you can see in the title, I got robbed, and this is the first time ever that I'm able to share the experience with a lot of people, and I hope if it helps somebody, that's one of the main reasons I'm doing the video. Okay, so I visited 3 cities in September during my honeymoon. The first one that I visited was LA, Los Angeles. The second one was Yosemite Park. And then after Yosemite Park, we spent the last 3 days on San Francisco. Now let me tell you something. I'm a huge fan of movies and TV shows, and for me visiting LA was a dream. I'm not saying it's ugly or anything like that, because that's not the point, but when I arrived to LA, it's not what you see in the movies or what you expect it to be. The food is amazing, the city is not expensive at all, but it's like kind of the main buildings are like in the far away. I think you have to visit like the expensive houses to be like, oh, I'm in LA. That's the opposite reaction when you first hit San Francisco. When you first hit San Francisco, San Francisco is a beautiful city. A lot of buildings since you cross the first bridge. It gets you like, wow, this is a beautiful city. So we're talking about, we went to San Francisco, from Yosemite to San Francisco on a Thursday, and we first arrived to the city like around 7:30 p.m. Since it was a little bit late and we were tired, the first thing that we did on San Francisco was we went to the hotel to get the room. We stayed at the Marriott for 2 nights. It was one of the gifts, so we only had to pay for 1 night. Beautiful hotel. You guys are going to be seeing it now through the pictures. So when we arrived there, one of the cool things about that Marriott is that the elevator, when you take it to go to the room, is like crystal clear. So you get to see the city while you're getting up or down, and then you get to see the sea with a lot of embarcations and things like that. It came with like a Starbucks cups and coffee from Starbucks. So we kind of chill the first day of San Francisco there for the night. Every single day I do a trip, I like to create a list of the places that I want to see 100%. The places I want to take pictures in, the places interesting that I want to know the history about. So in San Francisco you can get and visit the Palace of Fine Arts. I was watching a video on YouTube, and for what I could see on video, it looked more beautiful at night than what it did on day. So I'm like, the first location that I want to hit actually on the day is the Palace of Arts. So we went to that location. Now, side note, if you're planning to visit San Francisco, first, it is beautiful, but it's kind of expensive. The night of the hotel was like $250. The food was expensive. Everything that you do there is kind of a little more expensive than another city in the US. So when we visit the Palace of Fine Arts, the main thing that you want to see when you go to San Francisco is the Golden Gate. So San Francisco is a city that is always covered by fog. So when you get there, you might have a fog situation. That's what happened to me the first 2 days, that you cannot see the Golden Gate. It's like covered in fog, and it's funny because we even drive it that first night. Listen, you couldn't even see that it was red. It's that kind of fog. Like you couldn't, you're getting through the Golden Gate, but you couldn't see it. So we found one place that you can see it over the top. The place was super scary. We had a rental car, so we left the car, we get out of the car, and we went like kind of this dark park, and still you couldn't see the Golden Gate. And I'm talking to you, we were on top of the Golden Gate, you couldn't see it. So still till that time, no problems at all. I don't remember what we did that night, but I think we went to a club or we went to eat at night, something like that, but we didn't do anything crazy because we were a little bit tired of the long drive from Yosemite to San Francisco. Now, that was Thursday. Our second day was on Friday. In San Francisco, you get to visit ALCATRAZ, one of the oldest cities, one of the oldest jails in the US. And on top of that, and I'm going to do a steelbook review of the video of the movie. In San Francisco, the movie Vertigo was shot there. So I got a place in mind that I wanted to see, and it's a scene from the movie that the lady jumps to the water. So that was a place that I wanted actually to go and see. So on Thursday night, our room was 2283. Seeing the pictures here now on the laptop. On Friday, we went to the Embarcadero. at the Embarcadero the day before, we got tickets to go to Alcatraz. So before, I think you have a period of time, and you can see you go through a ferry. Before we checked the schedule, and we went to eat. One of the main dishes on San Francisco is like clouder soup on a breaded thing. I'm going to be showing pictures. So we went to eat, and the leftovers we took it with us. And when we went to take the ferry to Alcatraz, they don't let you to pass food over. So side note, it wasn't that cold, so we decided to leave the jackets on the car. When we took the ferry, every single time that I took a ferry, that happens to me, it's super cold because you're in the middle of the sea, sort of saying. When I went to New York to see the Southern River, I have the same situation. It gets really cold when you're in the middle of the sea. So we took the ferry to Alcatraz. I recommend 100% to visit Alcatraz if you are visiting San Francisco. It's not that expensive. If I remember correctly, it was like $70 or something like that. And you get to visit the jail, and you get to do whatever you want to do in the island. When you get to the island, you can take a tour that they give you, like kind of a cell phone, and then with a cell phone you just play the audio, and they tell you to be walking and where you need to be placed when they're talking to you and saying you what story is behind Alcatraz. For example, the jail have like streets. I don't remember, let's say Paris Street. So the video will be like, okay, now place yourself in front of this cell number 20, and they start telling you the story of the jail. One of the things they recommend is that everything that says prohibited the pass, do not cross. They don't try to hide anything, but those are places that it can put your life in danger, so be careful. And the police is always going to recommend you to do not cross those kind of things. When we finished the tour on Alcatraz, I remember on Alcatraz I got a coin from Alcatraz. This is me. Every single time I go to a city, what I like to buy and bring back home is souvenirs. In LA I got the Hollywood sign, in Yosemite I got a rock and a coin from the park, and then in this case in San Francisco, in Alcatraz, I got one coin from Alcatraz. They sell a lot of things, like silverware from the jail, records of the imprisonment, things like that. So you can decide what to buy or what not to buy if you want to take a little memory back home with you. So after we finished on Alcatraz, we went to Pier 39. Now, Pier 39 is famous because there is a part that you can see lion seats just chilling there. They smell a little bit, but it's cute to watch them. We went to kind of like a place that it had a lot of restaurants and stores, and when I go to the city I always try to go to a crystal store. I have a Zen garden in my house, and I always try to bring stones because I like them and I like the properties that they have. So I got like, remember I spent like $30 on rocks. I'm going to be showing pictures of the store. The store was called Green Ball Cleans. That was Friday. Then on Friday night, one of the destinations that I had pending was the Lombard Street. We saw it at night, we couldn't see that much, and we tried again on a place close to watch the Golden Gate. It was still covered by fog, we couldn't see the bridge, and at that point, because on Saturday I was coming back home, I was like, I can't believe that I'm coming to San Francisco and I'm not going to have the chance to watch the Golden Gate. But whatever, I could always go back. And then I think that was the night we went to a club. Now, Saturday day. It was our last day on San Francisco and we got a few places to visit, so it was a busy day ahead of us. While I was getting the ferry to Alcatraz, I heard that they told that the best place to see the Golden Gate from the beginning to the end, it was the place that I actually had on my list because it was the place where Hitchcock chose to record one of the scenes of Baghdad. So when we woke up on Saturday, the first thing that I wanted to see that day, there is a Cupid arc kind of a sculpture, it's giant, so I went to see that arc. The day wasn't that foggy, so in my mind I was like, I think I might finally have the opportunity to see the Golden Gate. So we visited the Cupid's arc. After the Cupid's arc, we went back to Lombard Street to watch it during the day. So we went to Lombard Street. And then after Lombard Street, we went to the Golden Gate place. Now, the day before, it was our last day, and this is going to be important in the future in this video. Since it was our last day, we packed our belongings and we had three backpacks. Mine was full of clothes, the other one was full of clothes too, but the extra backpack, it was full of souvenirs from LA, from Yosemite, and then from San Francisco. At that time, I had bought this Golden Gate Bridge that I love it. If I'm not mistaken, this was $15. They sell everything from the Golden Gate. You can even find a puzzle, whatever you want from the Golden Gate, you can get it there. And then I got this coin. Now you're going to see the pictures. I was wearing a jacket and this coin was on my pocket. That's why I didn't lose the coin. So you can say that coin is good luck for me. Kind of. So after Lombard Street, we went to this place. The place is called 4 Point and it's the vertical location where the lady jumps into the water. We went to the place, we could actually see the bridge. We took the most beautiful pictures inside the fort with the Golden Gate in the back. I remember I called my grandparents FaceTime to show them the bridge and be like, oh, look at the Golden Gate, whatever. I was so excited. And when I went to the souvenir store, they had a book with Hitchcock, and the guy told me, you know, they actually shoot that here, but the lady didn't actually jump in the water. And I'm like, yeah, I know. The waters there are a little bit dangerous and cold, and you can see that the part where Hitchcock shoot the scene, you cannot even have access to that. So we went to that place. Now, I saw on YouTube and on internet that I think it's on the left side of the Golden Gate, you have a lot of beaches, and if you go down to that beaches, there is a lot of great pictures that you can take there with the Golden Gate in the back. So we decided to go to the beach. Now this is when it gets funny. I'm saying this now because it's been a while, but believe me, at that point it was hard. It was hard for me to have that kind of situation in a city that I enjoyed visiting so much. We found a park. It was a World War II memorial park. We left the car there. This was our mistake. We left the backpacks visible on the back of the car. So I guess you can tell when somebody is visiting a city because you get out of the car and you're recording videos and you're taking pictures, whatever. So difference with Miami. If you go to a beach in Miami, you park your car and the sea is at the same level that you are. In this case, you have to hike. It took us like 15 minutes just to go down to the beach, and then you have to walk through the beaches and to get to the last one. We later on find out that it's a nude beach. We didn't know, but nobody was there at the moment. So we went to the place, and when we were doing the hike, we found a pair of keys. At that point, I'm saying like somebody dropped them, but knowing what I know now, it might be a different story. We went to the last part, we took some pictures, the pictures came out great. And when we came back to the car, the back window was crash, and all the backpacks were gone. I'm talking to you that it was 12, it was bright light of the day, it was a part that people were eating with dogs and chilling. It's the place where you can imagine that something like that is going to happen. I will try and find videos on YouTube to see if I can put it on this video, but when I started searching for San Francisco, you can actually see back online how dangerous it has become and how many people have that kind of the same problem. I even see pictures of people putting in the car, please do not break my window, I have nothing of value in my car. Okay, so my experience, I didn't lose anything of value. It was just clothes and a few souvenirs that, yeah, I spent a little bit of money, but they didn't hit me that hard. I didn't lose anything sentimental or like say a family heirloom or things like that. But it still hits you hard because it makes you feel unsafe in your own country. So I couldn't believe what was going on and I called 911. 911 told me to wait and a sheriff was going to give me a call back. When we get into the car, I had a note on the car saying, I didn't even want to take pictures of that scene. So that's why I'm not going to show pictures of that, because I didn't took any. We had a note on the car saying like, I just witnessed your car getting robbed and this is the plaque that they use. One of the souvenir stores, that the thing that goes on the back of the car, the plaque, they sell it as souvenirs. So you know how easy it is to just change it if you're doing those kind of things. Now, I got a call back from the sheriff. They basically put you in the whole process. They give you a case number just in case you need to put it on the insurance. They try to calm you down and explain to you the situation. The lady spent like almost an hour talking to me. She was a rock star. She made a horrible situation make it look like nothing. She told me that, let's see, sometimes we found the scenes, but this is what I want to talk about it, because she told me during that time to share my experience with the world so people know what's going on the city as beautiful as San Francisco, and people start taking care of the city. She told me that basically if they don't steal more than some amount of money, nothing happens to them, and that's why they do it in a bright light, because at the end of the day, even if they catch them, nothing is going to happen to them. I could see a video of a Walgreens getting robbed and the security just standing there without being able to do anything, because nothing can happen to them. She told me that companies are leaving the city, that is becoming dangerous, and she told me she was born there and she couldn't believe that they letting the city be so dangerous and they are not doing nothing about it, and the people that need to care, they do not care. She told me they just do it for the money, and what they did with my bags is they just open it and go through them. If they don't find anything of value, like it was the case, nothing of value was there, they just threw it to a cliff. So the key that I found when I was hiking to the beach, it's possible that it was a key that somebody stole from somebody and they just threw it to the cliff. She told me that homeless people get to the clothes. Listen, I had that horrible situation, but I really hope if my clothes were like flying through the air, I really hope a homeless guy that actually need them went to them, and if they didn't went to waste. I already had the experience, nothing I can do about it. It's been like more than a year. Well, it's actually today's a year. Today is September 16th. I went recently to Orlando and I had a friend from LA, and he told me he had the same situation, but Lombard Street. He left the car and one of her friends left a purse. They stole it, they broke the window. That's how they do it. One of the videos, like people on the expressway going bumper to bumper, some guy came, he hit the bag. He couldn't even have still like a gym cloth, but still. It's a horrible experience to past, but what can I say? Things like that happens. I still recommend people to visit San Francisco because, like I say, it's beautiful, and a lot of people go and nothing happens. But just be careful. Be careful what you leave in the car. If you have like your passport or something, the police told me that they had situations where they sold passport from the people and they get stuck there because they cannot go back to the country. So I can imagine a situation like that happening. That had to be a horrible situation to happen to someone. So after that, my mood went to the floor. I didn't want to do anything else in the city, so I just took a few more pictures and that's it. We visit the Painted Ladies, and after the Painted Ladies, we visit Chinatown. Not my favorite Chinatown of the city that I visit. We eat at a sushi place. Amazing food, that can I say. And I remember at that point just calling my mom and I'm like, Mom, I had this situation. We were coming back home just with the clothes that we have right now. Thankfully I have my wallet and my cell phone with me, so that will be a big deal if they were stealing it. But yeah, that was my experience visiting San Francisco. After that, I just came back home and had good and bad experience about the trip. That's it, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying these kind of videos on the channel. I'm planning to do more travel vlogs, but in this case I want to do the one, I want to do in the future one like the bumper that is down that I did in 3 parts. But yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon.